Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you found me. My name is Andrea, and today we are going to talk about making text-to-text connections. If you have any thoughts or new ideas, drop them in the comments below, and if you feel moved to do so, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Now that we are exposing our kids to more and more books and they are reading by themselves, our new goal is to help make sure that they can find connections that will keep them entertained, connections that will help them understand what they're reading, and connections that will improve their retaining and recalling skills. And how are we going to do this? With schema. Remember, schema is using our prior knowledge with whatever you're doing at the moment. And today, we are going to use our schema to help us connect from a book we are reading now to a book we have read in the past. These connections can be between characters, setting, plot, maybe pictures, how a character feels or thinks, or why they did the action that they did. It can be the genre or the theme of a book. The possibilities are endless. As with any new skill or strategy, we want to make sure that we model to our readers what it looks like and what it sounds like. We want to make sure that we are including why we chose what we chose. So for instance, I can say, this book reminds me of a book I've read before, and this is why. Or, this character and this character are so similar or so different, and that's why I chose it. Today I'm going to use 3 examples of how I use text-to-text connections, and I'll show you how they vary between the ages and stages for your readers. So for our first example, I'm going to use language that I would use with my beginning readers. I know that most of our kids, if not all of them, have heard or seen or have been exposed to Old MacDonald Had the Farm. And in this book, this is Pete the Cat, Old MacDonald Had a Farm, I would just review it very quickly and ask them what they've noticed. I'm looking for answers like, this is about animals, or I see animals, I see a cow, I see a duck, and the noises that they make. I would then introduce this book, Do Cows Moo? And in this book, we are introduced to animals and the sounds that they make. I would model that the connection between these 2 books can be something as simple as these books are both about animals, or they're both about barn animals. These books are also about the sounds animals make. My next example, I'm going to use Curious George. I know kids have been exposed to Curious George, so they might be able to pull something to connect with another book. In this particular book, Curious George is about to go to bed, and he is being read bedtime stories. The book I would like to connect it to is this book, A Good Night Walk, which is a fantastic book. And in this book, our character, right before they go to bed, goes on a walk around the block and tells you what they see. The connection I would make with both of these books is that they take place outside, and they both take place at night. If I wanted to go a little deeper, I would also talk about how both of these books are about routines or what you do before bed. I might even ask students what they do before their bedtime. With my third book, I will use language that I use with my more experienced readers, trying to find that deeper meaning. Again, I am trying to make sure that they can find connections to entertain, to understand, and to be able to retain and recall information. So again, I'm going to use Pete the Cat. This is a character I know most, if not all, students have had plenty of exposure to. This is called Pete the Cat and the New Guy. And in this story, Pete the Cat meets Gus, who is a new person to the block. And in this book, we see the interactions between Pete the Cat and the new person and how that unfolds. My second book, which I want to try to find a connection with, is called A Tiger Tale. Again, a fabulous book. And in this book, this main character talks about all the worries she has on her first day of school. So the connection that I would make with these 2 books would be about maybe being the new person to either school or a new experience, a new place, a new home. Maybe the feelings that both of these characters must have felt in both of these books. Maybe starting something new. I would go around and ask if a student recently has started something new. Maybe they would be able to find the connection between these 2 books. And last but not least, these books both talk about friendship and fitting in. So these are 3 examples of how to find text-to-text connections. Remember, we want to ask our students why they chose these books and get them talking as much as they can. That will strengthen that connection that they have to each book. So drop in the comments below the 2 books and the connection that your readers made. I would love to hear it. And until then, stay confident, stay positive, stay safe everyone, and I'll see you again.